know what I hate? I hate whiners, you know? I hate people who just complain. Had a guy in a joint one time, cell next to me, and he's just to yap about everything. He used to yap about the food, and yap about the guards, and yap about this, and yap about that, and yap all night long. Fucking yap. Like a fucking 747, you know what I mean? Like an engine stuck right between your ears, and you can't get away from it because he's right next to you, you know what I mean?
That means that we punched our ticket to go try to win the Super Bowl, and that's it. We got one game at a time, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Love y'all, boys. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you, every fucking game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3! Win!
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
It's showtime.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. What up, Bills Mafia? It has started. Free agency has pretty much begun. Today is illegal tampering, so it's begun. And the Bills have not made any moves today so far. That doesn't mean that they won't. But as of now, there's been no moves. However, there's been moves around the league. Let me get some background music here for me because I like to have a little bit of something there going on in my ear. There we go. Let's get to some of your guys' chat real quick. Because, man, last time I went solo, I felt like an hour behind, and y'all were, like, making fun of me. Oh, man, Tommy, what's going on with you in the chat? You're like an hour behind. I'll have to check on him tomorrow. Man, I roll up often. He's ready. Weston Brewster in the house. He knows what's up. Believe in Ireland, right? We believe in Ireland, right? Believe. Man, I'm messing it up. Believe in Bean Island. Hashtag BB. Believe in Bean Island, man. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm chilling. Weston knows the deal. Bean Island, man. Brandon Bean taking a nap right now? Nah, man. Bean's at work, bro. Bean's at work. I'll be honest with you. Everything he's done up to this point has been really, really good. You got people out there that are hating, right? And me and Mikey go live today or tonight at 10 o'clock. And we'll discuss that more, but it's crazy, man. I don't think anything Brandon Bean does moving forward, Bills Mafia, at least the ones that are hating on him and continue to hate, are going to like anything this guy does. He can have a grade A plus draft. Get all the free agents that you guys want, and you'll find some way. You'll find a way to hate on him. Sean Kula in the house. How you doing, Sean? Man, appreciate you rocking with me. Let's go, Tommy. Here we go. Let's do it. Sandra in the house. What up? Yeah, Gilliam gone. Reggie Gilliam, I didn't think he was going to go, but yeah, man, he went to the Patriots of all teams, man. He will be missed. He was a good player, good special teams player. Obviously, did a really, really good job in the tush push, helped Allen get those extra yards needed, but we're going to have to find that replacement because that's something that we still are going to wind up using in the offense, obviously, unless we wind up getting a bigger back in the draft, which I doubt. So we're going to have to find that guy. Maybe they use a tight end. Maybe they use Knox. If Knox is even here, right? Like we have no idea yet what's going on in-house, meaning is Bean trying to work out a deal with Knox to take another pay cut? Is he planning on releasing him? We still haven't heard about any kind of restructures outside of Spencer Brown. Just not a lot of stuff going on right now, or at least that we're aware of in Buffalo as far as them clearing cap to make any type of moves. But don't be alarmed. It's going to happen. Happens every year. The Bills will make their moves, man. Bean will get his guys, and you may not like them all, but that's how it works, man. You can't please everybody. Not every draft pick is going to be the one you wanted. So just buckle up and let's see what happens. But I'm going to get with you guys on what's going on around the league, because there was some pretty big signings today. Some pretty big things that happened, actually. So being on the island taking a nap. Nah, he's not taking a nap. Not taking a nap, man. Trust me. That dude's working. All right, I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but I'm ready to see some additions that help the team. And there's already been some. You know what I mean? Let's not get it twisted. We got our number one right now. I still think he's going to wind up getting a receiver, another one, either through free agency or the draft. So to me, I feel like this has been a really, really good start to the offseason. And once again, a lot of you guys just are wanting so much to happen so fast, right? It's just like, if it doesn't happen fast, you're not happy, right? It's just like, but you're overlooking what has already occurred, right? How about the fact that we did trade for DJ Moore? By the way, Alec Pierce got what I think they're saying $30 million, or he's asking for that, something like that, or he got it from the Colts. The Colts did trade Pittman, by the way. I'll get into all that in a minute, but to me, DJ Moore's better than Pierce. So look, for a second round pick, and we receive a fifth round back as well, I don't think that's a bad trade. Then we also re-signed Alec Anderson, which was a great cheap deal for a guy that could play any position on the line when needed. And then we re-signed Connor McGovern, which a lot of Bills Mafia, including myself, did not think McGovern was going to be back, and we got him on a cheap deal. He was projected to make about 17, 18 on the market, and I believe we got him for about 13 and a half. Right? So you can't overlook stuff like that and just look at all the negative stuff. Oh, so bad. We haven't done anything yet. We didn't get the guy I wanted, so it's shitty. We didn't get Max Crosby. By the way, all the reports say that we were involved, or we were in conversations with trading for Max Crosby. And y'all were like, when I went live on Friday, I can't believe it. You see, stupid Brandon Bean. And I told you, what did I tell you guys? You think that the Ravens were the only team that called about Max Crosby? Of course not. They took the best offer available. And the Ravens' first round pick is more desirable than the Buffalo Bills by a lot. So of course they're going to take that offer over our first round. It's a no-brainer. I would too. But once again, you all act like we weren't involved, or Brandon Bean isn't on the phone trying to make things happen. Clearly he was, because all the reports say he was. And then also what I try to tell you guys on Friday was, y'all were bitching and moaning during the season, and so was I, at the trade deadline, for us not giving up a first-round pick for Waddle. It was a first and a fifth? And to be honest with you, DJ Moore has put up better numbers since 2023 than Jalen Waddle, and I think he's a better receiver than Jalen Waddle. And we gave up a second, and now it's a problem because of the contract. That's what I mean. Listen, guys, he would have probably got maybe a little bit less out there in free agency, not by much, if that. So don't get it twisted. We got our guy in house, and we'll get more. I don't want to fall too far behind. Let's see here. Watch Bean trade a second round pick for like Keyshawn Booty. I mean, we don't have a second round pick. We gave it up for DJ Moore. So right now we have a first and a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, I believe. don't know what happened there. Issue is, Tommy, we know the Brady offense. How good will Moore actually be with Brady taking wide receiver out of the picture? Once again, though, but we can have the same argument about any receiver. Like, I heard that argument. Like, Moore's going to want to demand the ball. He's the one. Guys, it's almost like if Brandon Beane got any true one, you guys, it would be the same concept, no? Let's say it's A.J. Brown, right? He's a true one. He would demand the ball. Justin Jefferson, he demand the like. And if Brandon Beane doesn't make a move to get a one, you guys are going to go, oh, I can't believe we didn't get a one. So, like, what do you want the guy to do? Not get a one? When you're bitching about not having a one? You go, come on, man. Like, let's ease up here. As you know, DJ Moore actually got coached by Joe Brady, who was his offensive coordinator, who actually, DJ Moore had his best season with Joe Brady as OC. So I'm not super duper worried about what DJ Moore can do here in Buffalo. Also, let's be real here when it comes to this offense. We were really kind of only missing one little piece. Well, big piece. And that was a true one, right? That's what we were all saying for the most part, right? We needed a guy that Josh Allen can rely on when it's third and long, when we need a play to be made, right? We need that go-to guy that has the for sure hands, good route running, can separate, all that stuff. That's what we just brung into town, right? But outside of that, the offense was fine, right? It was just that piece, right? And then we had our concerns about the offensive line because we were going to be missing McGovern. David Edwards was leaving. Well, guess what? We re-signed McGovern. So now I think everything should shift over to the defense. The defense is what we need to concentrate on. So I agree. I understand with some of you guys' concerns about the defense, but now that's priority. That's priority one, right? But he got the receiver out of the way. I still think there's going to be another play for a receiver, though. Yeah, I agree. That's what I worry. I want Moore to get the ball, but Brady doesn't want wide receiver. Yeah, but we don't know yet what this new offense is going to bring in 2026, right? I get what you're saying because what we saw over the past two seasons, I totally understand. But we also have to understand that Sean McDermott was the head coach at the time. Sean McDermott also wanted the offense ran a certain way, right? Same thing with the defense, right? Sean McDermott wanted this defense ran a certain way. He wanted certain players here, right, that fit his defensive scheme. Now that McDermott is gone, it's going to tell a lot, right, about what happens, right? Meaning, does Joe Brady open it up a little bit more on offense, right? Does Brandon Beane get different type of players? Is he more aggressive as a GM, right? All this is going to be, we're going to find out very soon, right? I believe that to be true. I believe you're going to see a little bit different offense. You're going to see a way different defense, right? So let's give these guys a chance first before we already go, nope, we already know what it's going to be like, right? Let's wait and see how this is all going to fit. Listen, if we go into the season this upcoming season and the offense is the same, meaning, the primary one, which is probably going to be DJ Moore, unless we bring in somebody else, which I doubt. I mean, I think we'll bring in another receiver, but it won't be a guy that's better than Moore. I don't think, at least. But either way, if we're doing what we did over the last 2 years, where we're just kind of, ignoring the one, which, by the way, did we really have one over the last 2 years? No. So we had Diggs for half the season under Brady as OC, right? That's where we kind of saw a decline in Diggs, right? Where Diggs wasn't getting the rock much. Then we released Diggs, but we haven't really had that one here. So I kind of find it like I don't think it's fair yet to say that we won't go to a one or won't use a one the right way, because we haven't really had one since Diggs left, right? Is that fair? So let's see first what it's going to look like, how it's going to go down now that we have the one in-house. Okay? Before we judge it, before we already go, oh, it's not going to work. We don't know that yet. No, it's just free agent veteran from trade. Wide receivers are a terrible idea. You have to hit a... Yeah, I get it, but listen, we haven't, right? You know, I think we did good on a few. Like, I think Khalil Shakir is a really good receiver. I believe we got him in the 5th. And that's a great pickup for a 5th round pick, right? But you're right. For the most part, we have not done a good job for receivers, but we also haven't really swung for receivers in the draft either, right? The first time around, what did we do? We traded for Stephon Diggs, right? When we had when we were probably gonna draft one in the first round, but we decided to go for Diggs, the sure thing, right? Which wasn't a mistake, right? Diggs was great here for 1,000 yards each season. He was here for all 4 years. So I don't hate that trade. I don't hate any GM that swings for the fences and takes chances. You have to. He took a chance there. I thought it worked out, right? But since then, his mistake was, ignoring that room, right? And just, and not still adding to it, right? I think he felt like Diggs and Gabe was going to be the answer for long term, and it just didn't work that way, right? But we'll see. This year's draft receivers, I like a few, but I'm not crazy about all of them. It's kind of a weak year for receivers. It's not the greatest, right? I like a few, but we'll see what happens. But this was a smart move. Nor my other worry, Chicago ran offense like us, run first and pass. I get what you're saying. But once again, that was last year's offense, right? I'm just saying we got a different OC in here now, or at least, a guy that's going to help out with Brady and Carmichael. Brady may look at things a little bit differently on how he wants to run the offense now that McDermott's gone. I'm just floating that out there. I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure, because I don't know yet. Like, I wasn't crazy about the Brady hiring. I'm going to be honest with you. I like the coaching staff more than I like the coach. But the coaching staff might actually boost the coach, right? And actually have him better than maybe he actually is, or, the young head coach that he is. Maybe Brady can develop into a good head coach, right? We'll see. Time will tell. But I still think it's too early to judge or to know what this offense and this defense is going to truly look like until we see it. Like, you know what I mean? All we're going to do here right now is kind of speculate, kind of guess, and hope that things change, right? The defense for sure is going to look different. That I think we can all agree on for the most part without kind of seeing it. Now, of course, will it work is a different story, but we know it's going to be different, right? The defensive scheme has totally changed, right? We're going from a 4-3 to 3-4. All right, so right off the bat, it's going to be a different look. Defense was the main issue. We don't even really need a receiver. I agree, and we're going to cover. We're going to fix that, right? And we already are, right? Trading for Teron. By the way, we traded Teron Johnson. We winded up not cutting him, and we got a 6th round pick from Oakland. I said Oakland, Las Vegas. So we got something in return. It's not the greatest, but at least we got something back for Teron. And by the way, Teron was a great player. He just wasn't going to work in the scheme. But there's going to be moves. And clearly, Sean, from all reports, Bean was in talks with the Raiders about acquiring Max Crosby. So clearly, he understands that defense is important, that we need an edge. So let's find out. Let's wait. Free agency just started today, right? The draft is right around the corner. We're going to find out, right? And I agree with you, though. I think the defense is going to be probably a defensive-heavy draft again, which is okay because we have a lot of holes to fill on defense, right? Offense, we really didn't have a lot of holes to fill, right? We already kind of addressed those, right? McGovern is back. we got our one and DJ Moore, right? There's not a lot more left, right? We're going to need, Mitch Trubisky, by the way, signed with the Titans, so we're going to need a backup quarterback. You could find that in the draft if you don't want to pay for it in free agency. A fullback, you could probably find a cheap one in free agency or even the draft potentially in round 7. I'm sure there's a fullback out there in college. You know what I mean? So, or UDFA, right? So I'm not too concerned about those kind of pieces, right? Defensively, we all know what we need, right? We need an edge. We need a linebacker. We need a safety, right? There's some pieces we need, right? And we're going to get to them. What up, Beth? How you doing? Time you to look over your left shoulder. There's another screen to Shakir for -1 PR. Oh, I hear you, man. Look, he's going to still be throwing those screens, right? But let's hope now that he has a guy that can, go over the top, and DJ Moore, and who knows who else they get. Let's hope he switches up the offense a little bit. And by the way, if we're going to be fair a little bit here, when we acquired Brandon Cooks, right, when we picked him up free agency, we did start throwing the ball a little bit deeper. I mean, let's be real, right? Like, we were throwing the ball deep to him in the playoffs as well. I wish he came down with the ball more often, but we were taking more shots downfield when we got that kind of player that it seemed like Joe Brady trusted for that role, right? So that's why I'm trying to tell you guys, we haven't really had a reliable guy that maybe he felt comfortable with over the past 2 seasons to kind of open up the offense a little bit more, right? So we'll find out. Like I said, time will tell. But I understand your concern because of what we saw over the last 2 years. However, the offense, believe it or not, we were still up there in scoring. I believe we were a top 5 offense. So, like, for as bad as it seemed at times, overall, it wasn't that bad. It just was in moments, in certain games, where we needed a big play to happen. That's where we kind of got stuck in the mud and where we were like, damn, we need a go-to guy here. We need a one in these situations when we're going against a Texans defense, where we need a guy that could beat that type of coverage. We didn't have that, unfortunately. Now we do. So now I think Bills Mafia needs to relax a little bit on that side of things. Now we worry about the defense, and I think we'll be okay. And by the way, guys, if you guys get any breaking news while I'm here fucking yapping, go ahead and put it in the chat. Obviously I'm checking too. I got my monitor on the right here at the free agency website here that I'm looking at all the moves being made. Trubisky to the Titans. No. Titans have Cam Ward, man. Cam Ward's the man over there, man. I believe in Cam Ward. It was his first year. The Titans were bad, bro. The Titans were bad. They got to build around that kid, and they will. Cam Ward has everything, guys, that you need in a quarterback. All right, but this is the ultimate team sport. You got to surround your quarterback with weapons. You got to protect your quarterback, right? You got to have a good defense. Like, there's a lot that goes on. You got to have a good coaching staff. Clearly, they didn't. Right? They fired their coach. Like, let's give him a chance here before we say, he's not an NFL quarterback or he can't be a good quarterback in the NFL. I think he can be. I have hope that Brady changes ways, but we got to see. Yeah, exactly. We got to see. But I'm not going to prejudge or predetermine what's going to happen in the 2026 NFL season or how this free agency is going to go or how the draft's going to go. Like, what type of, everything for me, guys, when McDermott left, for me at least, how I see it, everything has changed. Everything. The way we're evaluating players, the type of players we want in Buffalo, the type of scheme, the vision, right? Everything has changed now, right? So I wouldn't expect the same is all I'm saying, right? And I want you guys to at least give these guys an opportunity to prove that, right? And look, I'll be first to tell you guys on here, If they fail or if I feel like they're not doing a good job, I'm not going to hold back. I never hold back. I've never held back, ever. Never bite my tongue on this channel, right? Even if I like the guy, right? Shit, I like Ken Dorsey. I thought Ken Dorsey was going to be a really good OC. I rooted for him to get the OC job while Dable was here. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, and I was wrong. And Dorsey just wasn't ready. Not that he was terrible. I still don't think Dorsey was god-awful. We were still a top 5 offense, believe it or not, when Dorsey was OC here. But he had issues, right? He had some problems with it. I feel like he's a way better quarterback coach. He actually did a great job in Dallas as a pass game coordinator. So he may even get another opportunity down the road as an OC. So we'll see when it comes to him. But I'll admit when I'm wrong, and I did with Dorsey. So look, if Bean fails now that he has the opportunity to do things the way he sees fit or his vision, along with Joe Brady and staff, if he fails, I'll say it. I was wrong. But right now, I have faith in the guy. I do. Has he made mistakes? Yes. And I'm going to go over them tonight with Mikey. And I know a lot of you guys lean towards the drafts, and I got to totally disagree with you guys on that. His biggest problem has been free agency. And we're going to go over that tonight with Mikey because it's alarming bad. Like, it's really bad. And we want to talk about the cap and where the money has gone primarily to bad signings in free agency. And that's something he has to clean up. He has to clean up and he has to get right. Other than that, guys, the money that he shoveled out to extensions for the most part have all been good. I think the only one that didn't kind of work out that we're paying on is Matt Milano. And even then, a healthy Matt, you can't predict injuries, though, he probably should have saw that coming because he kind of was hurt throughout his career when he did get the extension. But when healthy, Matt Milano is a great player. He's a really good linebacker, but I would say that was one that didn't quite work out. But outside of that, guys, if you look at our team, right, as it sits today, all the players that we've pretty much extended have been draft picks, and they all start. And not only that, they're all pretty damn good starters, right? I'm just saying. So as far as that money goes, I'm okay with. I can't complain about the money spent on this, most of the extensions. It's the free agency that's been the bummer. That's been his Achilles heel. And he has to clean it up. Got to get better. That was a good trade. $27 million for center. I know a center just got paid, by the way. We got a great deal on ours, 13.5. Can't beat that. Huge nose tackle to dominate. Yeah, we need a nose tackle. And that's another thing that with McDermott, while McDermott was here, that didn't fit his defensive scheme, right? That wasn't the type of player that fell into his defense. I'm very curious now with Leonard being the DC, if that changes, which I believe it will. So, like I said, give this guy time, give this coaching staff and Brandon Beane some time here to actually put this team together, right? Because it's going to take a little time, right? It may take 2 seasons to get the defense truly where Leonard wants it to be, right? It may not be able to get it all done in one offseason, right? Let's be real with that too. Oh, Mike Evans of 49ers is breaking news, huh? Fuck. Let me see here. You know what, though? It was going to be a hefty type of contract, man. Let me see here. Yeah, that's 3-year deal, guys. I'm looking at it on the right-hand side. You're looking at it right here, actually. I appreciate the update, guys, because I'm talking and I'm kind of not looking over to my screen. I want to answer your guys. I want to answer your chats too. They just weren't gonna, to be honest with you, the money, they probably need to use the money elsewhere on defense. Okay. And that's just the reality of it. Okay. I believe, and I kind of thought this was going to happen. They were probably going to get another receiver in the draft. It would have been awesome, no doubt, to get like a Mike Evans. But as I said earlier in this podcast, you got your guy in DJ Moore, right? Now you need to really start to concentrate on the defense because there's a lot of holes that need to be filled on the defense side of things, right? And I think the money spent on a good edge, maybe a Hendrickson, I think he's still out there. I haven't heard any word from him, would be unbelievable, right? Ideal, right? We still need linebacker help, obviously safety. I told you all that stuff, right? So I'm not truly upset about this. Good for him. I'm kind of surprised though that he didn't re-sign in Tampa or go back to Tampa because he loved it there. Been there his whole career, but I think he just wanted a scene, different, change of scenery, right? Mikey will be back tonight at 10 o'clock. Calais Campbell, what happened to Calais Campbell? Give me some updates, guys. You guys, I'm trying to give you updates. I'm trying to read your chat here as well. Let me get to the chat here before we by the way, yeah, Weston, you guys, Chiefs fan, how do you guys feel? How do you feel about Kenneth Walker? I think that's a great addition, man, for you guys, man. That's a great pickup, man. And I'm going to get to as soon as I catch up with the chat, I'll get to the news around the league because there was some stuff that happened. Obviously, the big news, or not big news, but Tua got cut. Dolphins have an NFL record now, $99 million in dead cap by cutting Tua. They did sign Malik Willis to a 3-year deal, $54 million, I believe it was, 34 guaranteed. So they do got the quarterback in-house, but they are paying for Tua's contract, largest in NFL history, so in dead cap. So yikes. Swore brother, Tommy, do you think we overpay for DJ Moore? I know you look at them giving us a 5th back. It's equivalent to an early third round. I love it. I think it's fair for both teams. I think DJ Moore is I think fans are kind of underestimating what this guy can do. He is a very good wide receiver. Don't get too concerned about last year's numbers. The guy, go back and look at his highlights since he came into the league. The dude is a really good receiver, well-rounded, about as well-rounded as you can get. For sure hands, physical, great route running, pretty good speed. I think he runs like a 4.4. The dude can ball. Is the contract a little bit higher than what I would like? Yeah, a little bit, but not. It's not, egregious, right? I think it's fine. I'm not gonna, totally kill him over the contract, man. But we got the guy in house, right? Everybody was complaining about it. Everybody wanted a Waddle last year, willing to give up a 1st and a 5th. I believe this guy's better than Waddle. Okay. And I think they're the same age. So I love the trade. I have no problem with the trade. And I think you guys are going to love the trade even more when you see DJ Moore and Josh Allen on the field together. Trust me. I promise you. Right now, I know it's not, a splashy elite alpha one like an AJ Brown, all right, or Justin Jefferson, but Justin Jefferson was not going to happen. I would be shocked if he gets traded. AJ Brown probably will get traded, but I don't think they wanted that kind of player in Buffalo, to be honest with you, as far as his, like just him as personality wise, right? You can kind of see where that would lead to if things didn't go his way early on, and I don't think they wanted to go that route. And everything I've seen from DJ Moore now, there was a few incidents in Chicago, but I also blame Caleb on that one. Caleb came into the league cocky as hell. DJ Moore set him in his place. Outside of that, though, everything I've heard, DJ Moore's a really good teammate. I'm excited for it, man. I really am. Diggs, Trayvon, Milano, Johnson. Right. So here we go. Diggs wasn't a bad extension, if that's what you're talking about. Diggs was actually a great extension at the time. He didn't know that Stephon Diggs would have an issue with Sean McDermott, really. And honestly, that was not, I don't think anyone saw that coming, right? And once they had that fallout, that was a wrap, right? But everybody at the time agreed with the extension. People, I remember being on X and everybody was all for the extension, right? Pay Diggs, get Diggs' extension. We all want Diggs back. And I was fine with it too, right? But then things went sour. And that's the way it works. Listen, that's the way it works around the league, right? It's unfortunate, but it's true, right? Sometimes things go bad, right? Unexpectedly. And that one kind of turned for the worse. But it wasn't because of the play. So let's not get it twisted. The production was there from Stephon Diggs. It was the other stuff that got in the way that didn't make this work out, right? So I don't blame Brandon Beane at all for the Stephon Diggs extension. Trey, once again, I don't hate it. I'll be honest with you. Vaughn was a free agent, yes, and you know what? And that one there, once again, it didn't work out, and it's sad. It's fucked up, and it still does fall on Beane's lap. However, you can't predict injury either, man. If you go back to that season that we initially signed Von Miller, I believe he had 8 sacks up to that game in Detroit, that Thanksgiving game. He was probably on his way to have 10 plus sacks here, his first year in Buffalo, and then he got the ACL tear. I mean, you can't really, you don't know that's going to happen, right? I mean, look at the Packers last year with Micah Parsons, right? Do you think the Packers, saw that coming, right? Of course not. It's just, it happens, right? But you're right. It still falls in the lap of Brandon Beane, but he took a swing and you know what? Unfortunately, he struck out on that one. But I'd rather him take a swing than not take a swing at all. So I'm not going to totally kill him on the Vaughn signing either. Matt Milano, I'm with you on that one. He had injuries from kind of day one here. Great player when healthy, but man, you got to take that in consideration. Teron Johnson, I disagree. When we gave him his extension early on, I thought that was a great extension. Teron Johnson, say what you want, he was a very good player here for a long time, except for last year. And last year was like his down year. And I agree with you, but I'm not going to kill the extension. The extension was what, 3 years ago, something like that. I think 2 years ago. I thought that was a great extension. I had no problem with that. So kind of disagree with you there too on that. My problem is, once again, it's the free agent signings, right? And we'll get into that tonight, Sean, because I got the full list of signings that we did, and they're just bad. They're bad signings or signings that made no difference, right? Including the 1-year deals that were just pointless. They didn't do anything for us. It was just money wasted. So these, what you put on here, except for maybe the Milano, and fine, if you want to throw Vaughn in there, even though it was kind of a shitty thing, that happened, fine. I'll accept those two, but I'm not gonna put Diggs on. I'm not gonna blame Beane for Diggs extension. I'm not gonna blame him for Teron and Trey either, man. Trey was a good player before his injury, so let's pump the brakes there on those guys. Pierce just got 30 million. Fuck that, man. No way. I think DJ Moore's better than Pierce, man. I'm sorry. I disagree. If you guys think he's better, then all right. I don't see it. Part of not screwing up your team is shelling out tons of money for to non-premium positions. I agree. But you know what though? You have to sign certain free agents for depth and veteran leadership, shit like that. But that doesn't mean you have to overpay either, or you know what I mean? And we're kind of guilty of that as well. Yeah, Trubisky's gone. He went to Tennessee. He's going to be their backup quarterback. So we need a backup now. That's one thing I think Buffalo's been pretty good at, finding a way to get backup quarterbacks at a pretty cheap cost. Look, we're not one of those teams that we need to shell out a lot of money for a backup quarterback. Let's be real, right? Josh Allen, knock on wood, has been healthy throughout his career pretty much, right? So they're going to wind up finding somebody in UDFA, maybe free agency, just a guy that's lingering around there. It's not going to get a lot of money on the market. They'll find somebody. Think about it, too, for that backup quarterback. For the most part, if you look at Buffalo's history, right, the backup quarterback barely plays. So you're going to get a nice little paycheck to really, just be out there practicing and when the season starts, sitting on the sideline. So, yeah. I don't think Trubisky complained about the couple million he made here doing practically nothing, right? I'm super upset that Tonga is heading to KC. Yeah, I mean, Thornton would really be solid in my opinion. I'm hoping we get who? Hoping we get, I don't know who that is. Let's see here. Bears already cut Edmonds. That's correct. The problem with Edmonds, and I would welcome him back, I just don't know what kind of money he's going to want. You know what I mean? And the fucked up thing is we don't know what we're working with as far as salary cap, because I've seen no reports that we've done anything outside of the cuts that we've already known about early on and Spencer Brown getting restructured. Outside of that, I mean, I haven't heard anything about Allen's contract, which I'm assuming it will be. So I have no idea. I have no idea what we're working with. What's happening? Hey, Billy D in the house, man. How you doing, Billy D, man? Our boys going live soon, right? Post podium. What time is it? 3? Going live in a couple hours. The boys over there. Check out my boys post podium at 5:30, man. I'm sure they got some bad stuff to say about my boy Bean. That's all right. I told him I give up defending him on that channel, man. I'm not gonna win. I'm just gonna do all my talking over here, man. And look, man, I tell y'all, man, come join the dark side, man. Apparently, it's the dark side. If you believe in Bean, you got to come to the dark side. Apparently, it's not a thing where a lot of Bills Mafia are believing in right now. It is what it is, man. I don't think that Shane Boucher is a backup quarterback. I think they take one in the draft. It's possible. I mean, and there's plenty of them. You can get one of the 6-7 around or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Dude, the Bears are absolutely going ape shit this free agency, are they? I mean, let's take a look here. I just wanted to get caught up in the chat, man. First, hold on. Let me see if I can. Friday night, guys, I was so behind in the chat. I think I felt like an hour behind, man. And people were just ripping into me. Usually Mikey helps me out with the chat, but he's only going live with me one time a week now. And yeah, I'm hoping for Muff and Evan Neal. More over Pierce for me. Yeah, absolutely. Losing Gilliam stings. It does, Spin. It does, man. Great special teams player. Obviously, he helped with the tush push a lot. We're going to have to replace that. And hopefully they can find that. We getting Tua? No, we're not getting Tua. How about the 99 dead cap hit? All right, I'm caught up with the chat, by the way. Yeah, that is amazing. The highest ever in NFL history for a team to take on a hit like that. That's wild, huh? I mean, that is just wild. All right, let's see if we have any. Let's check out the latest here on this free agency update. Ian Rappaport, the Bears continue to add on defense. They got linebacker Devin Bush on a 3-year, $30 million deal. I heard, by the way, just a heads up, that the Falcons may be interested in Tua. I mean, that was a rumor earlier I heard on, I believe, McAfee show. A splash in the Bay. The 49ers are signing up. We already saw that. Mike Evans. The Steelers have agreed to a deal with cornerback Jamil Dean, 3-year, $36.75 million. By the way, the Jets traded also for Micah Fitzpatrick from the Dolphins. So the Dolphins seem like they're kind of clearing house as well. Let's see here. What else? So here's the Jets, what they did today. So they traded for Micah Fitzpatrick. They signed Joseph Asai, signed Kingsley Engebier. Can't even pronounce the name. Signed linebacker Demario Davis and defensive lineman David Anyamanta. I can't even pronounce the name. So the Jets right now are trying to load up here on defense. I mean, if you look at the Jets additions, every single one is a defensive player. Every single one. They have yet to address the quarterback position, though. So that's very, very curious what the Jets do at that. But that's not a surprise coming from a defensive-minded head coach, right? He's going to load up on the defense, and the defense was terrible last year. So I don't blame him, but you got to get a quarterback at some point, right? So I wonder what they wind up doing there at quarterback. There is Kyle Murray floating out there. He may be their best bet, but I don't know if they want to, spend the money or wait till next year in the draft and get a better quarterback, because that's going to be a better draft class next year for quarterbacks. And maybe they just sign like a guy for a year, right? A veteran quarterback this year and just kind of, find themselves back in the top 5 again to get a quarterback. We'll see. Very curious what they do. Let's see here. The Jumbo Jets. Yeah. I mean, but it's kind of expected. You knew they were gonna go defensive heavy. I mean, to be honest with you guys, what do you think we did here with McDermott? I mean, for the most part, we concentrated on the defense. The same thing. We didn't put a lot of work into the offense while McDermott was our head coach. Like, that's why having a defensive-minded head coach, I don't know. It's just not. I prefer an offensive-minded head coach, to be honest with you guys, man. I've always have. So, but we'll see what happens with them, man. Not my problem. Not my problem. Tom, did you see where Kyle Landerbaum signed with the Raiders? I did. Trubisky did sign with the Titans. Yep. Yelling signed with the Patriots. I did. I saw all that. Still would like Brian Harrison Jr. for the Bills. Talking about Brian Thomas Jr. Talking about. Let's see here. The restructured Ed Oliver. Okay, sorry. I forgot about that. You're right, Daniel. Ed Oliver also got his contract restructured. But even with that move, I think they were still under the cap. So believe me when I tell you, unless it's not been reported yet, Brandon Beane still has stuff to do to get this to get money to free up cap space. So it just hasn't been reported. Nothing's really been reported since. So we'll find out, but I'm sure he'll figure a way. I haven't seen anything cross the wire yet. Make a damn move, Buffalo. Yeah. It's weird. I will say this too. For some odd reason, for the when it comes to the Bills, we're always late to the party. It always seems like we're late to the party, right? Trade deadline, we're always making a trade, if we do, at the very fucking end, right? Minutes before the trade deadline ends. Same thing with free agency. We kind of just we linger around, man. I mean, it's been that way for years. So could that be the same this season or this free agency? It's possible, because once again, I haven't even heard anything about more restructures. We haven't heard anything about what they're going to do with Knox yet, right? You got to have room as well. You got to make some room in the cap to sign these players, right? It's just the way it works, right? Now, once again, I always tell people, don't stress too much about the cap, because it always can be worked around, right? And Beane has been really good at that. But yeah, you also don't want to take your sweet time either while key free agents are getting signed, right? And you're kind of missing out on some of these bigger names. So we'll see. David Edwards signed with the Saints. Oh, did he? Okay, let's see. Is that breaking right now? Let's see if that let me see if I have any breaking Bills news by any chance. I'm looking at both our Bills stuff, and see a lot of Bills fans on Twitter right now not happy with us not doing anything. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any kind of news. Now, there is a rumor that the Bills have had talks with Rashid Shaheed today. That is floating around there. I don't know if you guys seen that, but that is floating around that we are in talks with Rashid Shaheed. He would be the over-the-top guy, and he'd also be the special teamers, kick returner, punt returner that we need. They're throwing that out there. So that wouldn't be a terrible signing at all. And depending on what we're going to pay him, if that happens. But yeah, David Edwards signs a 4-year, $61 million deal to the New Orleans Saints. So you are correct when it comes to that. I'm going to remove that and just go here. So yeah. So what do you guys feel about Shaheed? Bill supposedly talking to Rashid Shaheed, his agent. I'm guessing. I wouldn't hate it, depending on the asking price, right? depending on what he's wanting, right? We better find defensive players and fast. Yeah, we need to. But clearly they, what was out there earlier today was that we were in talks with the Raiders about getting Crosby. So clearly they feel like they need an edge, and they need defensive help, right? So he's not an idiot. Bean's not stupid, and neither is this. This new coaching staff we brought in, at least on the defensive side. Leonard's going to want certain type of players here. So I'm guessing. They're gonna figure that out. They're gonna get with Bean's gonna get with Leonard, and they're gonna find out what type of players that Leonard likes in this defensive scheme, and they'll get them. I'm not overly concerned right now. It's way too early. Remember, today's just a legal tampering day. This is where usually the bigger names come across the board and get signed, right? The bigger key free agents. So let's not kill them yet, right? It's going to be about a whole week here coming up of free agency where most of the names will be off the board. So it's just day one, and truthfully, it starts Wednesday, guys. So, let's not kill them yet. Moves will be made. Chris, getting McGovern done before Linderbaum reset the center market was huge. It was, and it was a great signing. 13.5. He was projected to make about 17 and a half, I heard. Once again, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, there was moves already made here that Brandon Beane did that you should be happy about, right? It started, honestly, with Alec Anderson. That was a great, cheap signing for a guy that could come in and pretty much fill any position on the line, right? And then you had, obviously, the trade for DJ Moore. Okay, now you got your one, right? Now you got the guy that Allen can depend on when he needs a play to be made. Okay, and then you go and get McGovern back, which nobody saw that coming, including myself. I did not see McGovern coming back to Buffalo. I didn't think they would be able to afford it, and I also didn't want to pay $17 million for Connor McGovern, but 13.5, that's a steal. You can't beat that. So now you got one less thing to worry. You got two less things to worry about. Your receiver, your wide receiver one, you got him in-house. You do. Whatever you guys feel about DJ Moore, the facts are the facts. He's a wide receiver one in the NFL. He's a top 20 receiver. And then you got your center back, right? So on offense, this offseason, we had a couple worries. We had the worry about our offensive line, right? Because we all thought McGovern and Edwards were gone. And then we needed a wide receiver 1. And then everything else was the defense, right? Well, we just covered pretty much the offensive line, and we covered the wide receiver 1. Now, we still need a guard, clearly. But that, you know what? Alec Anderson, and let's say we don't find one in the draft, which I believe they will, he can, for at least a year, fill that role. He can. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to wind up finding a guy in free agency or the draft. But yeah, I think we're good. You know what I mean? Will they add another piece to the wide receiver room? Yes, I believe they will. Now, if these rumors are true and we're in talks with Shaheed, and we do sign Shaheed, that makes it interesting now, because now the wide receiver room is kind of full. And I don't know if they draft a receiver at that point then, right? Because they need so much help on the defensive side. If they don't get Shaheed, if they don't get another receiver in the free agency, I do expect them to get a round 1, possibly round 2 receiver. I do. Well, we don't have a round 2. Let me take that back. If we get in round 2, if we get a round 2 pick back somehow, maybe we trade up. But yeah. So my point being is we handled a lot of business early on. And now free agency begins. We'll see what happens. I'm not overly concerned. I'm really not, guys. It can't all. By the way, guys, it can't all happen in one day. I want you guys to know that too. Like, let's pump the brakes here a little bit. Like, things aren't. I know we want it to, right? Because we're all like, fuck, man. Like you're looking at the screen and all these moves are being made, but it's day 1. And it's really not even officially day 1 because that's Wednesday, right? So let's give it some time before we start judging free agency and how we did. I think DJ is a fringe wide receiver 1 in the league. He's 100% the Bills 1, similar to how Diggs was before we cut him. Our 1, but not really a 1. I disagree. He's a true 1. Is he an alpha 1? Is he elite 1? No. I mean, yeah, I'm with you on that. Did he make our team better today? Yes. Did he make that wide receiver room better today? Yes. Right? Is he a guy that I feel comfortable with when I'm watching the game and there's a 3rd and long and Allen needs a guy that he can go to, that he can rely on? And yeah, I trust in him. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen enough of DJ Moore to know that guy has talent, right? I mean, go back and watch, like I said, go back and watch his film since he entered the league. The guy is really good, well-rounded receiver, about as well-rounded as you can get, right? I mean, look, and I'm not even a big national media guy, but even most national sports media have high praise when it comes to DJ Moore, right? They're not worried about what he did last season. So, I think DJ Moore is one of those guys where it might take Bills Mafia a couple games to get behind and go, okay, like now I see why. You get what I'm saying? Is that fair to you guys? I don't need that because I know what kind of player he is. But I feel like some of you guys kind of want to, you're going to want to see it first, right? And once it happens, right, once he proves that this guy could be that guy that we all wanted here, I think that the noise will quiet down, right? About it being a bad trade, or you didn't like the trade, whatever you're saying, right? Yes, I agree, Chris. Yeah. Boy, Maury Edge. Okay. He's a true X. Mm-hmm. We need a DJ skill set, correct? Reports are also that when DJ got the news he was getting traded to Buffalo, he was pumped up for it. Okay, well there you go. I mean, he should be, right? You're finally going to a team. And look, Caleb got better last year. Caleb Williams did play better last year, but come on, Caleb Williams right now is not a Josh Allen, right? And not only that, he's going to a team that's been winning, right? Chicago had a great year last year, no doubt about it. But Buffalo has been a good team for a long time, right? And not only that, he knows Joe Brady very well. He had his best season as a wide receiver with Joe Brady. So he's going into he's going on a team with an elite quarterback, an offensive coordinator, head coach / OC that he's very familiar with. It's a win-win for him. You get what I'm saying? And he's still getting paid, right? Like, also, the new stadium, right? There's a lot. Like these players, like he gets to be involved with this brand new stadium, right? Brand new head coach that he's familiar with because he was his OC in Carolina, right? Josh Allen, like there's a lot to be pumped up about, right? A team is not rebuilding. It's not this garbage team where, you're going to be on a losing squad over the next 2 or 3 seasons. Like, this is a playoff team, right? Like, so there's a lot to be excited for whatever free agent comes to Buffalo or drafting or whatever draft pick comes here. It's going to be exciting times in Buffalo. That's what I keep telling fans, man. Like, it's okay. Look, it's okay to, and I always say this, look at both sides of the coin, right? I'm not a home. This isn't a homer channel. This isn't a channel where I'm going to just be like, oh, everything's great in Buffalo. There's nothing ever bad that happens here. And every draft pick is unbelievable. Every free agent. No, you know what I mean? I'm going to be realistic, but I'm also not going to sit here and just be like, everything's bad. Everything's awful. I don't expect anything to change here. It's going to be typical Buffalo Bills bullshit football. We're going to get booted out of the play. I can't be that kind of fan. I got to be somewhat optimistic, right? I got to also look at the changes that were made, right? And go, okay, here's what I like about the changes, right? Okay, here's some of the things I don't like, but I got to give you both, right? I can't just be like, oh man, Joe Brady, fucking hate him. Like, I can't do that, right? So I got to look at, there has to be good in something, right? So I have to look for that, and I have to explain that to you guys, but like I said, everybody's going to fan how they want to fan. Every podcast is it's gonna have their own opinions, and I respect that, and I get that. But here, guys, you're gonna get me telling you the good, bad, and ugly all the time. I'm gonna always tell you guys at least my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean it's the gospel, but it's how I see it, right? And I'm just preaching to you. That's all, man. Tommy. Would you have gave up what Ravens did for the Crosby? Yes, I would. And I think we were. We were in talks with the Raiders that came out today. But the problem is this, and I told you guys this on Friday, right? And here's another thing I get from a lot of Bills Mafia, or I see a lot of Bills Mafia complaining about this. Why didn't we do that trade? Like, let's say a trade comes through. Why didn't we do it, right? Why didn't we call or sign this player or do that? And I told you guys Friday, you don't know that. You don't know that Brandon Beane didn't make the phone call to the Raiders. How do you know? Are you sitting in the room? Do you not? You don't think that, and I said this Friday, you don't think that half the league that needed an edge was calling the Raiders going, what do you want? Or offering them maybe the same? The problem is it takes two to tango. And and clearly our first round pick wasn't as desirable as Baltimore, who had a way desirable first round pick than ours, right? And there was like, 13 spots ahead of us, something like that. So clearly the Raiders were going to do what's best for them, right? And we're not going to, and Brandon Beane's not going to go overboard and be like, all right, I'll give you 3 first round picks for him. You know what I mean? Just to make, it's not how it works. You can't overprice it then. You know what I mean? Because, and here's the deal too, with Bills Mafia and just fans in general. Like, what if we make the trade and let's say Crosby gets hurt? You know what you're going to hear? Bills Mafia would have said, I can't believe we gave up 2 first round picks for a guy that got hurt. Is free. You were going to hear some negativity. It's always going to come across, if things don't work out, that it was a terrible decision. What was he thinking? Right now, we don't have 2 first round picks for the next 2 years. Oh my God. This guy, he tore his ACL. Like, you're going to hear it, right? So it's just how the NFL works. It's how fan bases respond and work. Like, but I appreciate that he called the Raiders. I appreciate he tried, but I also appreciate that he didn't go overboard and give up 3 first-round picks or something outrageous where we lose all this draft capital, right, for one player. So, look, man, the end of the day, it takes 2 to tango, but don't just assume that Brandon Beane is just not doing his job, not making phone calls, not calling free agents. Of course he is. But it has to make sense, right? It's not an easy thing to do. It's not as simple as this, oh, hey, Brandon Beane, what's going on, man? Yeah, you want Crosby? Yeah, the Ravens are willing to give me 2 first too, but I like you, man. Like, yeah, I'm gonna send Crosby right over. Like, it don't work that way. It just doesn't. So, I don't agree when fans are saying that as well. Like they know what's going on behind the scenes, right? Same sometimes with podcasts. I'm guilty of it too. Where I think I know what's going on behind closed doors, and that's why sometimes I try to correct myself and I say, that's how I feel, or that's what I really feel like that's what's going on. Though, who knows? I could totally be wrong, right? I'm not there behind closed doors. I have no idea what's being said and what's not, what he's doing, right? How many phone calls he made today, what restructures are being done, I have no idea, right? 0. So I can only speculate, only give you my opinion here. This fan base will never be happy no matter the move. Yeah, and it's unfortunate, and I wish that would kind of change, but certain people, I don't think you could change, as far as, what, their opinions, right? Like if they're set on something, they're set on something. No matter what that person does, it's not going to be good enough, right? Because they're already set that they don't like that individual, right? So I feel like no matter what Beane does or certain people, I just don't feel like he'll get into their good grace, right? Like, I just feel like Beane will forever be a problem with them, right? Like, that's not me. It's kind of like this, right? When me and Mikey when we do the 3-day draft party, the draft watch-alongs, right? When we're drafting players and we have our draft board and we got guys that we like. And you know how this works, right? Most of the time, the Bills aren't picking the guys we like, right? Or we want for the most part, right? And they'll draft somebody and we'll be like, oh my God, why? Oh, no, right? I can't believe you drafted this guy. And me and Mikey, especially Mikey last year, was not happy about what's his name? God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. The defensive lineman. Why am I butchering this? Oh my God, guys. The D lineman. God. Oh my God. Hold on. You guys are gonna get it before me. I cannot believe I am. Deion Walker. Duh. Okay. So Mikey was so against it. Like, Deion Walker. And Deion Walker wound up being one of our best picks in the draft. Right? Like, Deion probably was the best pick as of now in that draft. And you have to eventually go, okay, admit you're wrong. Admit that, oh shit, okay, right? But Mikey could have been, oh no, that's still a bad pick. He'll never develop. Oh, he'll never be good. I still don't see it. Like, he could have been that guy, but he wasn't, right? He eventually went, damn, you know what? I think I was wrong about this guy. You know what I mean? Like, and I think certain fans just aren't willing to go there. They just want to be so right about their opinion that they're just they're gonna just stick to it no matter what. And I'm the same way. Like certain draft picks I like that didn't work out. I'm like, I got. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But certain draft picks I was against that worked out. Like, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think Cole Bishop was going to work out. I really didn't. I thought the guy was going to, was too getting hurt already. When he did come in, I thought he was making mistakes really, kind of quick, right? Just bad mistake, giving up a touchdown. I believe it was like his first time on the field the previous year. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't see it. Boy, I was wrong. Cole Bishop was one of our better defenders last year. And he still has a high ceiling. Like, that dude still hasn't gotten there yet. But was damn good last year. So, like, I'll always admit when I'm right. I always admit when I'm wrong, right? And when I'm right, hey, man, I'll stand on that pedestal, man. Right? And I'll be like, hey, I told you so. But if I'm wrong, I'll be first to tell you guys. But there's a lot of fans out there. They just don't want to. They don't want to go there. They don't want to admit it, man. So Brandon Beane, like I said, he could do everything. He could do everything right in this offseason. He could make all the right moves, and those certain individuals will still find a way to not be happy, to still go, oh, paid him too much, or bad trade, or they'll find a reason why it wasn't good enough for them. And you can't. It is what it is, right? It is what it is, man. So all I could do here on this channel is tell you how I see it, and I'm and whatever. Fans don't, certain fans, and it's okay. You guys come in here, certain people, and they disagree with me. That's all right. That's all right. We'll have that talk for a little bit, and then we'll move on from it. All right, look at that. Good old bot right there. And of course I clicked the bot. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. What position do you think the Bills draft in the first round after DJ Moore trade? Man, honestly, man, at this point, I don't know. That's because free agency is not done yet, and I hate to do this because I need to know a free agency who they pick. Because look, let's say they get Henderson. Henderson has not been picked up yet, right? I don't know if that happens. It's a lot of money. They would have to clear up a lot of cap for that to happen. But let's say they do. Okay, well, then that takes away from your first round possibly edge, right? Let's say they get a good linebacker, right? Let's say they pick up a linebacker. Oh, by the way, we've got breaking news. Tremaine Edmonds. The Giants are signing Tremaine Edmonds. So he goes to the Giants for a 3-year, $36 million deal. Tremaine Edmonds to the Giants. So that just came through, by the way. So there goes that linebacker, right? Which I didn't think he was going to come back anyways. It was sitting out there. I know some Bills Mafia would have welcomed him back, but you know what's funny? We don't get a lot of returning players here. Like, it's funny, too, because a lot of Bills Mafia is like, oh, I would, for years, right? Like, yeah, let's go get this guy back. Let's go get this guy back. And I'm like, it's not, these guys left for a reason, right? Most of those guys you want back are guys that left on bad terms or just, things weren't the greatest here, right? Like, those guys aren't coming back. And not that Edmonds left on bad terms. He was a free agent. I just, most of the time, guys, to be honest with you, the bigger players, they don't come back. They really don't. So I just didn't see it in the cards, man. Yeah, they did. The Ravens likely went to, God, where did he go? I know he got signed somewhere. I wish I remember. John Franklin Myers is signing with the Titans, 3 years, $63 million. Titans have a lot of money, by the way, to spend. Guard Zion Johnson agreed to a 3-year, $49.5 million deal with the Cleveland Browns. So he's going to the Browns. So they got themselves some offensive line help. Devin Bush, I already told you guys about that. Let's see here. Any Bills stuff, man. It is quiet, but honestly, guys, we're kind of used to that. We're kind of late to the party on a lot of these things. So don't get too upset if we don't do anything today. Yeah, the Patriots got Reggie Gilling. That sucks, man. In Division 2 to a team we fucking hate. but it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? They got themselves a hell of a player in Reggie Gilliam. He's a great special teams, good fullback. But the Bills just, they didn't see the money. They didn't see the money there. Meaning they felt like the money could be used elsewhere, which I tend to agree. I mean, I love Reggie Gilliam, but they have so many holes to fill on defense that signing like a fullback probably wasn't in the cards, right? It just wasn't. And I understand. You know what I mean? Like, if we could sign everybody, I would love to, right? But it's just not how the NFL works. Damn, dude. I know the Titans have some money, but they are throwing money at these players. Yeah, I think the Raiders had the most, and I believe the Titans were second most money to spend. So they're going to be players in free agency for sure. Reggie should not have talked to him. Yeah. Gilliam is also a great locker room guy. He is. He's a great, listen, I'll miss him. Really good player, but he didn't do a lot offensively. Let's be real, right? I mean, to be real, he was the tush push guy, right? On offense. Like, he wasn't used much on the offensive side of things. And great special teams player, no doubt. And like you said, good locker room guy, but they're not going to overpay or pay, for his services when money's a little tight and they have a lot more bigger needs, if that makes sense, right? So you're going to lose players like that. I am curious what they do with Tyler Bass. It looks like they're just going to keep him. I believe they would save $2.1 million if they cut him. They probably don't see that as a major savings. He's still a young kicker. He did have the surgery, so he should be good to go. If there's any positives with Tyler Bass, is he did have a good end of the season the year before in 2024, the 2024 season. So, if we can get that Tyler Bass back for this upcoming season in 2026, then nobody's going to go playing that we didn't cut him, right? But I got to see it, right? Like, hopefully this guy, after post-surgery, we can see him in preseason, making field goals, his confidence back, right? And if we see all that, then I think no one's going to complain that Tyler Bass is back. Now, if it doesn't work out and Tyler Bass is missing field goals in preseason, then that's going to wind up being a really bad move on Brandon Beane's part. Because then by then it's probably a little bit too late to go get yourself a kicker, right? We kind of got lucky, let's be real, last year that we got Prater so late. And Prater, say what you want, man, but that dude was pretty good for us last year. But I don't think they want to. One, I don't know if Prater wants to come back to the NFL. He's like 42. And two, I don't know if the Bills want, to resign him again, right? With his age and, they probably already having Bass money, or he's already under contract. I think they just wind up keeping Bass. No, I think they're going to draft a kicker and a punter. Now, a punter's different. Punter, they might draft a 7th round or UDFA. Not really concerned about a punter. By the way, we don't even punt that much. So, just get a guy. For me, get a guy with a big leg, man. Get a guy with a big leg. Find him in UDFA. They're going to be out there. I'm not too concerned when it comes to the punter. Yeah, our Chiefs losing guys left and right. I'll tell you what, the Chiefs did get a good player in Kenneth Walker, though. They really needed a running back to complement Pat Mahomes, and they found that in Kenneth Walker. Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker. Trust me, healthy Mahomes, Kenneth Walker, that's going to be a tough team, man. They're always tough. You know that. So I'm not gonna be the one saying the Chiefs are going to be bad. Did Cooks get signed? Oh yeah. Oh, Brian Cook to the Bengals. Okay, safety Brian Cook. Okay, I think it said Cooks. I don't think Brandon Cook's gonna go anywhere. I mean, someone's gonna sign him maybe, but he's on a cheapy deal. And I really, to be honest with you guys, that I don't care if we sign him or not, if he comes back or not. I think we need to move on from him anyways. I appreciate his time here, but his hands are like just made out of stone or something. He just had a tough time coming down with catches, man. It seemed like so, especially in big moments. Let me see if there's any updates on any other. I think it's getting kind of quiet right now in free agency as far as updates go. I mean, there's still stuff coming across the board. Let's see here. Just trying to catch you guys up here if I see anything. Okay. Let's see here. Mike Evans. Just trying to see if I see anything that came across the screen. Brian. Okay, so Chiefs standout Brian Cook. Expected to sign with the Bengals, 3 years, $40 million. So that's a big loss for the Chiefs. John Franklin Myers signs with the Titans, 3 years, $63, $42 guaranteed. That's a good signing for the Titans as well. Let's see here. By the way, there is still some good free agents out there as well. Now, there's one interesting one. And I know I said former Bills usually don't come back to play for Buffalo, but Wyatt Teller is out there. I believe he has not been signed yet. And we need a guard. Now, he's going to cost some money, but I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it. If they could land Wyatt Teller, we'd have one of the best offensive lines in the league, hands down. Hands down. You're talking about Deion Dawkins next to Wyatt Teller, Connor McGovern, Osiris Torrance, who's only getting better, and Spencer Brown, a really good tackle in the NFL. I mean, that's about as good as an offensive line as you're going to get. Well balanced. You can run blocking, pass protection. You have it all right there, and you got depth in Alec Anderson, right? And you got some other players too here still. SVP is still here. By the way, I did hear rumors that he could go to guard, though I don't like that. But man, can you imagine having Wyatt Teller here? I mean, my God, like, listen, I'm a true believer in everything happens in the trenches, right? Like, you got to win in the trenches, right? On both sides, right? And if you can win on the offensive line of things, that just makes everything go smoother. That makes everybody better. I mean, why do you think James Cook, and I'm not saying James Cook is bad or anything, but why do you think he's gotten so much better through the years? Because the offensive line has gotten way better. I mean, let's be real. Our offensive line has gotten better each year, right? Especially since drafting James Cook. It wasn't like that before James Cook got here. Our offensive line was okay, like not really that good, right? Why do you think we didn't run the ball much, right? We weren't a running team, right? But once we got Osiris Torrance, Spencer Brown, and then obviously Cromer came here and developed Spencer Brown, like that line started to change mighty quick, right? And gotten way better. But boy, getting Wyatt Teller back, I don't see it happening because of the cost. But man, that would be great. Joe Marino likes Wyatt as an option as well. Okay. Yeah, and he should. He really should, because listen, that I don't know if anyone would complain about getting this guy back in the building. I mean, Wyatt Teller's an animal, right? And he's actually everything that we kind of need on that line, because things have changed here, right? And I know before when we drafted Torrance, Mikey was against it because he was like, he doesn't really fit the scheme. And But then we kind of shifted the scheme to be kind of a more balanced, almost run-first offense, right? And it kind of was last year. Well, that's what Osiris Torrance does well, right? Does it real well. And you get Wyatt Teller here, which is what his specialty is run blocking. Man, oh man. And I still think he's pretty good at pass protection too. And these guys are only getting better, right? And then you got Dawkins, athletic, and he's losing some weight, and hopefully he could be a better version of himself than he was last year. And Spencer Brown, who's still in his prime, like, man. And then obviously Connor McGovern at center, who's still young. Like, man, I would be excited. I'd be all for that, man. Hi, Papa Dog. Yeah, see my baby. I know what she wants to. I got to get out of here soon because she wants to go POTTY, which y'all know what that means in dog terms, right? So, what up, man? Yeah, big signing for you guys today. Kenneth Walker, man. Good stuff, bro. You guys getting the help that Patrick Mahomes needs, man, on that offense. But you lost some pieces today as well. But, man, that's a great pickup. Absolutely. Great pickup for you guys, man. Just got to hope Wyatt stays healthy. Yeah, I mean, you know, to be honest with you, that's for most players, man. I mean, right? Like, that's for most players, right? Like we got to stay healthy as a team in general, right? That's kind of been our setback, right, for the Buffalo Bills, right? Throughout these last really 4 years now, right? It just seems like there's injury after injury after injury here in Buffalo. We have to correct that. We got to figure that out. It can, you know, I know you can't prevent all injuries, but things got to get better, because what I noticed last year was we had a lot of injuries during practice, right? I think we led the league, or we were second in the league in injuries that occurred in practice. I mean, we had guys that were hurt already getting another injury in practice, right? And that kind of tells me that maybe McDermott was overdoing it in practice, pushing these guys too hard in practice. When they, especially guys that were already hurt, what are they doing out there practicing? So, you know, now that he's gone too, that's the other thing too with that, with things change with that, right? I know we kept the strength and conditioning coaches, which a lot of people weren't happy with. So we'll find out. We will find out this season if the injuries, you know, if we have lesser injuries in the 2026 NFL season, because we need it. We do. It just seems like every year, it just seems like we get a guy back, we lose two. We get two back, we lose one. Like it just we can never stay just to have a full healthy team on the field, man. And hopefully our luck changes. Sandra, Patriots offer for AJ Brown was rejected by the Eagles. Interesting. Okay. I wonder if the Patriots counter. You know, me and Mikey predicted AJ Brown going back to the Patriots, and I think a lot of people did, because obviously the connection with the coach and Vrabel. But you also, once again, like I said earlier, you don't want to give up the house either, right? So very curious what the Patriots do here, if they respond with a different type of trade option. Clearly teams are calling for AJ Brown, and maybe the Eagles are just playing hardball, which it is what it is. I mean, you're going to do that when you have that type of player that you're trying to move, right? Like, so maybe they feel like the Patriots will give in and give what they want. I don't know. It's not like the secondary was good last year. Chiefs needed a few new faces. Yeah, I get you. I mean, look, man, for me, adding, like I said, for me, with you guys adding that piece with Walker makes you guys a better team today. Now, you lost some players on defense that you're going to have to, you know, replace, but that's what the draft's about. That's what free agency is about. You know, if one thing I know about the Chiefs you guys are a deadly team as long as you got Mahomes, and that's the same with my team, you know, and that's why I'm very confident each year going into the season that we're going to be a playoff team because we have Josh Allen, and I think Chiefs fans say the same because they have Patrick Mahomes, and also they have Andy Reid. Like that was the other, you know, the other thing when it comes to being a Chiefs fan, right? You have that confidence in those two guys more than anything, right? With the Bills, it was really always truly just about Josh Allen. Nobody ever said, no matter what, we're probably a playoff team because we got Josh and Sean McDermott. It was always, well, we got J17, right? Right? We're always going to be good as long as we got him. Nobody said, talking about the coach being a difference maker, right? And that was a problem, and that shouldn't be. That shouldn't ever be, right? And that's what I always say. Like players that came here to Buffalo, I never heard once a player ever say I signed with the Bills because of the coach, because I love the coach so much, because I love his defense, right? Because I could fit into that scheme. I can't wait to play for that defensive guru coach. Like I never heard that, right? You always heard players, even on the defensive side, say they came here because they wanted to play for Josh Allen. Even draft players, even players that they're getting interviewed, draft picks, right? They all talk when they talk about teams and who they always bring up, right? Josh Allen. Right. But when you talk about the Chiefs, right, of course you're talking about Andy Reid. Of course you're talking about Patrick Mahomes. Right. Like we never had that luxury here. So hopefully that changes. I don't know if Joe Brady changes that, but we'll find. Time will tell. Commanders re-signing backup quarterback Mariota. That's a great signing. He's a great backup, by the way. Marcus Mariota, he's actually wasn't a terrible quarterback. Like starting quarterback. He wasn't that bad. That's a hell of a backup quarterback. But if I'm Buffalo, I'm sticking to what I've been doing. I'm not overpaying for a backup quarterback. I laugh at teams like the Dolphins when they sign a backup quarterback, $10 million, Teddy Bridgewater, right? $10 million to Zach Wilson. Like you're paying Zach fucking Wilson $10 million to be your backup quarterback. Are you in fucking sane? Talk about wasted money. That's why I find fans so funny talking about picking on our Brandon Bean so much. It's like, are you looking around the NFL and the wasted money that these teams are wasting on backup quarterbacks and other players that make no difference, that do nothing? They're just eating money away, right? At least we're not doing that, right? You know what I mean? And we will not, right? I am telling you guys, we're not going to overpay for a backup. This is not going to happen. We're not going to overpay for a punter. I saw a punter get paid. A couple punters got paid today. I'm not trying to pay my punter that much money. Get one in the draft. You can get one cheap in the draft. Get a UDFA. It's wild to me. Josh will play with 2 broken femurs. No need for a backup. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, there's no need. There's no need. I'm go out and find yourself a $2.5 million a year backup quarterback. Get him a 1-year deal, right? If you want, and then re-sign him the next year if he wants to play for 1 more year. I mean, that's what we've been doing. Honestly, it's what we've been doing. And I have no problem with that. I have zero problem with that. Pat's offered first and a third for AJ. GM holding out for higher price. Wow. Okay. So rumor had it early on, a month ago. I believe a month ago, that Philly was only asking for a 2nd round pick. That was the rumor. Now, if that's true, my God, dude, no, that's. Oh, I gotta listen. AJ Brown is damn good. He's an alpha 1. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you guys. But he also has some fucking issues, right? And you're gonna have to be aware of that. right? And you're giving up a first and a third. And by the way, you know, I believe they got a pretty good first, right? I think, don't they? Because they had a trade for last year. I could be wrong on that, but either way, it's still a first, and it's still a third. For a guy that has some issues, like I don't know, man. I don't know. Like that one there, and look, they rejected it. Like, what do you want then? Like, are they asking for maybe 2 firsts? Like, that's, to me, I would have made the trade. For me, if I'm the Eagles, if you're truly looking to move on, right? If it's that bad of a relationship in Philly, right? If you don't see it happening for a first and a third, man, I'm sorry. You got, for me, you make that deal happen. That's an aggressive trade offer from the Patriots. For me, you take that deal. I think that could backfire on them, but we'll see. I wouldn't be willing to give up more than that. I think that's a damn fair offer, man. Trading AJ Brown before June 1st will result in a massive dead cap hits. Okay, so maybe that's the deal, and maybe they'll go back into it. You know, they'll cycle through that again after June. I don't know, but still, they did offer and they declined it. So. Just force Philly to hang on to their players. They should. They just out to try and fleece teams. They probably are. And they might. Listen, I still think I think there's problems there, right? More than likely, he gets dealt at some point this offseason. So we'll see. By the way, Michael Pittman got traded too. Michael Pittman went to the Steelers. So Pittman is gone from the Colts. He's a hell of a receiver too. I like Pittman. I don't know what they gave up for him though. I think it was like a 5th round pick, right? Let me see here. What did Pittman get? Let me see here. Michael Pittman. I believe it was a 5th. Let me see. Pittman traded. Trade details. All right, so Pittman. All right. It was for. God, I can't even find it, bro. What? Let's see here. It's not even telling me. I thought it was a 5th, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't see the deal. I don't know why I'm not seeing that. Guys, let me know if you know what the deal was on that, because I don't see it. I believe it was a 5th round pick. Let me know, guys, in the chat if you know. Spin, you may know. I was a late round pick swap. Okay. That's what I thought. I don't know why I thought it was a 5th. Okay, that's all that was reported. Okay. But either way, I mean, the Steelers are getting a good receiver, and Pittman. I think Pittman's a really good receiver. Pittsburgh needed help. The question is, though, for Pittsburgh is quarterback. I mean, I don't think Aaron Rodgers comes back. I just don't see it happening. I could be wrong. I didn't think he was going to play last year, and he did. So, maybe he comes back for one more year, but I just, if I'm Pittsburgh, man, you got to find your quarterback for the future. You can't keep fucking around with these old guys. I don't know why Pittsburgh for the longest time has just kind of been toying around with these free agent quarterbacks that just aren't working out. And Aaron Rodgers wasn't terrible last year, but he's not your future. So I just don't get it. Like, you know, I don't know. The thing is, this year is not the craziest, you know, draft. You know, it's not the best draft class for quarterbacks either. So maybe they wind up getting a quarterback if it's not Rodgers for one more year. Maybe they sign one of these free agent quarterbacks that are out there on a cheapy deal, or maybe they think Kyle Murray's the answer. Maybe they think Tua. Maybe they give Tua an opportunity. You never know. Okay, we already saw that, right? So Trent McDuffie obviously traded to the Rams. We knew about that. That was a few days ago, right? So that was a good trade for the Rams. So yeah, Chiefs giving up a really good corner there. Pittman with DK, just need a competent quarterback. Absolutely, Spin. Yeah, that's a great that's a great 1-2, man. That is a really good 1-2 punch. You just got to have the quarterback right, getting them the rock. Yeah, it's quiet, man. It is very quiet. But remember, it's day one, and it's really not even day one. It's legal tampering. Really, free agency kind of begins Wednesday. I think right now, I'm not saying he's not making phone calls to free agents, but I think they're still working out their own in-house restructuring, possible extension, possible cuts. You know, I think Dawson Knox is one of those players that we should keep an eye on, who potentially could get cut, which would save them some money. Obviously, you got Josh Allen's restructure, and that's going to happen at some point, which would save, I think, $12.1 million. Give us some cap space and about 12.1 on there. And then who else knows what other deals get done? They could extend Osiris Torrance early. I think that will save us a couple million. So there's obviously things that are going to need to be done in order to sign some of these players. So I think maybe if I had to guess, guys, that's what's going on for today and possibly tomorrow. So yeah, we may not see some deals come through until possibly Wednesday. So I don't know that for sure, but it seems like that is the case. Because nothing has been reported. The only thing that's been reported, guys, that I've seen on our end is that we were in talks with, or supposedly in talks with Rashid Shaheed, right? That is the only thing that I heard, and those are just sources. That means nothing, right? It means absolutely nothing. It could all be bullshit. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Outside of that, guys, I mean, nothing. There's guys getting signed kind of left and right here. However, there is still some big names out there, right? Like Trey Hendrickson hasn't been signed yet, right? I'm sure, teams are calling about him, but who knows what he's asking for. Yeah, I mean, there's still guys out there. I mean, even in the quarterback market, there's guys out there that haven't been signed yet, right? I'm sure Kyle Murray is going to find a home. Tua, say what you want about him. Someone's going to wind up signing him. You know what I mean? Maybe a 1-year deal or something like that. But there's definitely players still out in the market, guys. You still got Romeo Doubs, hasn't been signed yet either. Rashid Shaheed. We'll go through it tonight, actually, me and Mikey. I'll have a updated list of free agents that are still available. We go live tonight at 10 o'clock. So you guys definitely want to join us. Finally, Mikey's back in the building. He only is here on Monday nights, so you guys got to come back, man. Monday night at 10 o'clock. That's tonight. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry that nothing happened as far as Bills breaking news while I was here, but it was good to talk to you guys for a little bit here during the daytime. Maybe I'll do this again and just kind of kick it with Bills Mafia on Mondays, right? A little earlier, and then obviously do the Monday night show with Mikey later on. So you guys have anything else to say before I dip out of here? Knox thing gotta happen. Sorry. Yeah, I we'll see what happens with Knox. I feel like there's only two things again. It's gonna, right? Or three things, right? He either gets cut, right? I mean, he takes a cut in his pay, right? A massive cut. Or they somehow get rid of him through trade package, but I think because of the contract, I don't see that happening. So I guess I'll boil it down to two things. Either he gets cut or he takes a pay cut, a massive pay cut. I just can't see them not doing one of those two things. I just can't. He's getting paid a little bit too much for what he provides, and I like him. He's a good tight end, but he's obviously getting overpaid, right? So got to figure that out. I think they will. I think they like him a lot as here in Buffalo. They respect him. Brandon Beane obviously probably has a love for him. He drafted him. Obviously, he's Josh Allen's like best friend, right? He doesn't want to see him go, right? But it's a business, right? And you got to do what's right for the team at the end of the day. And ultimately, he'll have to make that decision with Dawson Knox. So, all right, guys, I'll be on here tonight at 10 o'clock with me and Mikey. We'll have the updated free agency list for you guys. And we'll go over what players could fit here in Buffalo. And hopefully, you never know, maybe there's some moves made, by the time me and Mikey go live at 10 o'clock. So we'll see you guys here at 10. Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.
Just let your soul go. Just let it shine through. Just let your